If this doesn't work out, which even if it doesn't now, I hope it does eventually, you could think about entertainment. You guys are awesome. Gosh, there are a lot of questions here, but it's amazing. I'm particularly touched by the motivation and the potential impact, and just really, really impressed with that. Talk to me a little bit about your startup costs. There's just even looking at some of it makes me wonder.
Yeah, so we did a $10,000 friends and family round. That's what has gotten us so far. We are done with that's our alpha version right there. If you want to play around with it even more, please feel free to check out our booth. But moving forward, the main of our costs come towards we really want to start making this more large scale. So contacting vendors and so on. We need about obviously the costs. We need about $40,000 to get this to large scale costs, and that will probably come from our partnerships. That's also why we're here at South by Southwest, to get in touch with those people. So
you said alpha. What are you thinking for beta and then eventually your final product? Or have you already come up with, new solutions that iterate upon what you've already created?
So for our alpha version, you can see there, I don't know if the audience can see it, but our product has the brain of it called the BBC microbit. For our beta version, we want to plug that into a motor controller and be able to drive motors. Right now, those motors on the bottom, that's just where they would be in our beta version, but they're not plugged into the microbit. So in our beta version, we'd actually plug it into the motor controller and be able to drive a robot.
And that board that we worked with 10X with is going to be available in a couple weeks. It wasn't available. We couldn't get it in time for South by Southwest.
Thank you.
I have two questions for you, gentlemen. One, talk to me a little bit about R&D. And how much are you looking at setting aside in R&D? Because what you're doing is focus on a lot of innovation. And then you talked about a lot of partnership relationships. So since there's two of you all, you can handle both these questions. I'm interested to know, have you thought about the split in how you want to split the partnership makeup as far as your ownership? Because the more persons and more bodies, the more institutions you bring in, you got to think about losing control of your vision. So talk to me about those 2 points.
So when I said partner, I think we may have lost communication. When you mean partner, it's like a business deal. So, for the Miracle Foundation, for example, they allowed us to go, remember there was a picture earlier of a kid playing with a phone? They were actually using our kit. So they allowed us to go to one of their orphanages and play around and let roll out our kit. Similarly, Science in the Suitcase, I know Antonia's here somewhere. Yeah, right over there. He really helps us. He helped us with curriculum development and so on, because they run camps all over the world when it comes to curriculum. So it's more of a business deal and less like gaining equity and so on.
Okay. And what about my second question?
What was it over? I'm sorry.
Yeah, my second question was centered around, so we talked about the partnership makeup, and then what we were talking a little bit about was the market share that's available around R&D. So how would your R&D help drive you to be able to take advantage of market share? So how much are you looking at setting aside for R&D?
Okay, R&D obviously is like a lot, but we feel like since the openness of our design, we're really focused on you can use trash and so on. So maybe less on R&D. We'll create multiple base kits which kids can use, but then focus a lot on the curriculum development and how you can use water bottles, you can use sticks, you can use any local recyclable trash items that you can find, and incorporating it into our kit, and then focusing on the structured curriculum that we were using on those camps and so on, and showing off how we can integrate that curriculum into it. So the R&D is focused more on the curriculum side and using found materials, because that's where kids really learn.